Good morning, guys. Another Monday morning. Hope you're doing well. A lot more of you are joining as we're speaking. If I can get a shout out that you are there and you can hear me and see the PowerPoint presentation. I've got a very little short PowerPoint, something for us to look at rather than having the beeps of Facebook when we are actually on. When I have that as my background. So I'll go on there later on and show around. All good. Hey, Shelley, nice to see you. Excellent. Awesome. And there's more people joining us as I'm introducing this call. Wonderful. Well, it's Stuart's birthday today. So we started off the day hunting around the house for all the presents, playing the game hot and cold. So he's not here with us today. And I was going to get him to run one instead of me, but I thought I'd give him the morning off. So instead, he's gone to drop off the kids to school and do a few things before we have like a celebratory lunch. So looking for, hey, Russell, great to see you. A few hellos coming. Elaine, hey, Elaine, nice to see you too. And a happy birthday's coming from Shelley. And yes, I will, Elizabeth. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the well wishes. Well, as we normally start, is we go through a little bit about the group for to benefit the brand new members that have been joining us over the coming. Well, every single day, there's probably at least 10 people, if not more, joining our group. And we decided to put together these coffee chats for them, but also for our existing members to make sure we answer any questions that you have. And we discuss some topics around what's hot at the moment, which actually came up around midnight last night in terms of what the a hot topic that people have been asking questions around and something that happened in another group. So maybe we'll open up that for a discussion a bit later on. So just briefly around our group, it's been running for 2.5 years. We recently clicked over 10,000 members, and we continue to get wonderful feedback that it's adding value to people's lives, which means that the quality is good and people are sticking around and also interacting quite a bit. I think earlier in the week, last week, I posted the fact that I looked around other groups just to see what their walls look like, and if I could find some valuable information that interested me, just to see what was happening. And actually, there was quite a lot of just promotional posts that I really got disheartened and just left because I wasn't getting anything of value or answers to questions. I'll often like how people ask a question and a lot of people get into answering that on our group, and then I go and read through the thread and learn something new myself. So number one, I congratulated a lot of people who've been adding value to the group last week, and that is really the trick on how to make the most out of UBS. It is to at least post 5 out of 7 days. I post once a day on the topic, and certainly today you'll probably see me posting a few times because I need to announce a few events that are happening over the next 5 or 10 days, which I'll tell you about towards the end. But the key is add value, add value, add value, add value, and then you can certainly do a promotion on Tuesday, being a special deal day, if you like, and that will potentially, if you've been showing up your face or your profile has been showing up in the group and you've been more consistent and people have gotten to know you, then they're more likely to take up your deal. Sometimes people only come on a Tuesday to post their deal, and certainly our wall looks very promotional on Tuesdays, and a lot of people join our group thinking, yeah, I'll sell something, but it's unlikely because if you haven't been adding value over a period of time and you have no relationships, unless it's like something totally out of this world, I don't see it going like hotcakes the way some of our regular members who put up deals have their stuff go. Awesome. So that's a little bit about the group. Now, something that I wanted to open up with, and more and more of you have joined the call as I can see the numbers, but please use the question box to comment and interact around this. And it's something that came up in a different group as a question, and that is around this hype that is out there of so many coaches or mentors claiming to be able to help people get to the $1 million mark, like become a $1 million coach, or they call themselves $1 million coach because they help people get there. So the topic or the hot discussion that was opened up was, is um, uh, is it right or is it not so right to be saying that, especially if you don't have the score on the board? Are they overusing the hypnotic, sell them what they want kind of arena without too much integrity? So I'll give you my opinion while you guys maybe are typing or commenting to this. I certainly think a person, if I was going to hire someone, a mentor, which was the case with us last year, I needed to know that that person had achieved the results that I wanted to achieve, because there's so much people don't know if they haven't done it themselves. And being on the other side of $1 million now, I go, oh my God, there's so many distinctions and differences as to how you arrive and how much work it takes to get to where you are. And I'm a true believer that the person needs to have done it themselves in order to mentor and coach and promote it out there the way it is. Secondly, I thought, and some people say, oh, but I've helped people get to $1 million, so that's why they call themselves that. Well, I think there's two key distinctions there. Number one, who have you helped, or have they been already set up and have got infrastructure around their business? Um, because if you walk into a business that's got infrastructure, strong point of difference, high-end products, whatever it is, and you help them tweak a couple of things and then they achieve their $1 million, then you've kind of come in almost at, in the scaling part of the journey. However, if you start with a business who is a startup and doesn't have infrastructure and it's got to discover and evolve that point of difference, then it's unlikely going to happen, and there's so many more things that need to happen in between. So it depends, to me, the stage of business that you're in, and thus if you have success, if this person has had success with businesses to get them to $1 million, well, that's also a question to ask, like, where were those businesses at to begin with when they started the mentoring? So lots of comments and I guess opinions being shared here. So let me read them out. Elizabeth says yes, and it dilutes the message. Shelley says we can offer others where we are at. Yeah, I believe like our avatars or our ideal clients always end up being people who are a few steps behind where we are, and I think that's what's congruent, and that's what you'll tend to attract as well in your business. That's what I believe. Russ says, I would rather do business with someone who has done it themselves. Yeah, exactly. Elizabeth also said something about earning the right to tell other people how to get there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because sometimes, that saying, they overuse that saying of fake it till you make it. And, but how, that's not really honest. Or how can you fake it if you don't know or have the strategies to help someone define themselves and refine themselves to a point where they can scale their business to $1 million? Shelley says there is nothing that can compare to actual results. Yeah, exactly. Lorraine, great topic to cover. Excellent. Elizabeth, the best way to do this is demonstrate it yourself. Yeah. Tell tell people the real truth. Yeah. Also, another thing I was gonna say is uh, when I'm promoting my authoring program and all that sort of stuff and marketing, a lot of people also hype up. Actually, this is relevant in, I guess, in our niche. Is a lot of people hype up the thing about bestsellers and how to be a bestseller and this and that. And the other night I was running my event here in Melbourne, and I said I'm not really into that bestseller hype, because I'm into teaching people what I have been able to achieve through my books, so that they can replicate some of those strategies. If they want the bestseller strategy, then they can go to whoever's promoting that. And then again, I would be questioning, well, how integral or truthful is that in terms of having your book as a bestseller? Will that get you monetary results? Probably not. Some kind of a status, yes, possibly. um, Adair has said, finding those who think like I aspire to and study them. So modeling excellence. Yeah, we all we learned. Not everyone's a coach on this call, but like we learned while at the start of our journey, find who's achieved the results and ask them questions in terms of how they think, what they do, and replicate that. And generally, you should be able to get the same or similar results. Elizabeth says, yes, but you have to actually have to get there. You might fake it at first, but ultimately have to eventually walk the talk. Yeah, absolutely. And yes, and we all, without being um, uh, so dishonest in the beginning of our business journey, certainly we need to fake it. Like, for example, I used to say, oh, my clients this and my clients that, when I perhaps had one or no clients, because you have to put yourself in the place that you are working with clients, not so much that, hey, I've got this astronomical results that you actually don't have. I think that's one big lie. And Elizabeth just said very few books become bestsellers. Or nowadays, Elizabeth, probably there's a lot that claim they are, and perhaps they tick the boxes, but are they truly that quality that a true bestseller is? So that's where the lines are very grey in terms of what's a bestseller and what isn't. And sometimes when you see that sticker on a book or whatever, you need to ask the question, and the question twice. Does it build a little bit more extra credibility for a person? Yeah, it certainly does. But yeah, I'm not a big fan. Word of mouth is the strongest referral, and from my experience, it has been hard to settle in and find a good ongoing mentor. Thank you, Natasha. Well done. Awesome. So I thought that was a real topic that we need to be mindful of, all being on the call. We're all in business. So we all at some point in time are going to have a mentor at the moment, or will outgrow our previous mentor to go into that next step of our journey. And certainly on our journey, we've worked and are working with our third mentor. Plus, in addition, I've had niched mentors. So another point that I wanted to, I guess, educate you on and share, there's a certain point in your journey where perhaps you don't necessarily need the general mentor, where overall they call themselves a business coach, but you start needing to hire niched mentors. So, for example, we hire our publicity guy who gets us lots of publicity through a 3-monthly campaign. Yes, we're paying him for a service, but at the same time, we're learning through what he is doing with us, and therefore we see him as a publicity mentor in terms of his opinions and his experience with the media. Secondly, we've got our Facebook ads person. Yes, he's also executing a service that we don't know how to execute as well as he does. So therefore, we call him our Facebook advertising and marketing mentor. And and now we've just decided to go ahead and engage someone who's going to help with further automation and sales funnels around our business. So it's very specific around what problem they're going to help us solve. Now there's a question. Please, by all means, we're halfway through. So if you do have questions now, anything, doesn't have to be what I'm just talking about. But I've got one that's come up from Elaine, so I'll answer that in a minute. But please post them up because I'll see them pop up, and then I'll stop and answer. So let me stop now for Elaine, and she says she's asking, when do you know when you have outgrown your mentor and need to move on? If there is a cutoff point as such, when you get the feeling that you're actually making more money than them. And that with my first mentor happened after 2.5 years. And I felt that, as much as I could learn, I had learned from him, and it came a natural point where I met someone else who showed me some different things I could learn with them, and that's the sense I was getting. I don't know if it was true or not, but I was getting the sense that I was becoming more successful, or perhaps turning over more money than them. Then from my second to my third one, my second one unfortunately stopped because she actually moved countries, and the communication really suffered between us, and we had hired her for 6 months, but we only completed 5. We actually opted out of the last month because we felt that we weren't getting the value because the communication was not there. But yeah, that's generally my sense of how I know. Sometimes people choose to work for an X amount of time, like 6 months, 3 months, 12 months, whatever it is their package is, and then when they finish and they do something different. Depends if you're onto a program. With my first one, I wasn't onto any program, it was just an ongoing thing. And so there was no end in sight unless I called it. Which is what happened when I happened to meet the next person. And I'm a big believer, you guys. When the student is ready, the teacher will turn up, and you will be faced with the decision whether to do it or not do it. Okay, Terry's got, how do you marry chocolate outlet with fitness JV or other business ideas? Chocolate outlet with fitness JV. So how they can help each other? Is that what you're asking, Terry? So maybe someone who's a chocolate outlet owner, and then you're thinking how you can collaborate with them. Can you just clarify that? Yes, yes. Okay. Okay. So how do you? Oh gosh, maybe I need to put this out to the group. It's too early in the morning to think. I mean, the two are so different. Um, uh, da, 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 da. Gosh, nothing's coming to me straight up because I'm kind of thinking, obviously, chocolates. I mean, they're not all the time unhealthy. So a small amount of chocolate, especially of the dark kind, is always it's good, but it will look kind of silly if someone gave someone a fitness say voucher while they were shopping for chocolate. Maybe a couple of the other uh, uh, people on the call can brainstorm this up for us. If not, I'd have to think about it a bit because nothing's coming to me immediately. Let me go through another comment. Maybe someone else might type up something for you, Terry. How do you find a good business mentor? There are lots of ads on Facebook with big promises, and it makes me a bit scared to lock myself in with someone. How do you know who is good, and how do you find someone? So that's one thing that you actually said, Elizabeth, just before, locking yourself with someone. A good mentor will not lock you in with them. Okay, there's no reason. If there's value there, there's no reason for you to leave. You might have a tentative agreement where you say you're going to work for 3, 6, or 12 months. And if you really want to, if you're not getting the value and not enjoying yourself and getting the results that you thought you would, then you can talk to them. And usually with our kind of structure with mentoring, we've said to people, look, if you within 30 days decide that you're not happy with what we're doing, then we, you feel free to let us know, and then, give us 30 days to replace you or whatever. I don't do a lot of mentoring nowadays. It's just dribs and drabs here and there because I focus on my 48-hour author program. But yeah, I would actually ask the question, why would you be locked into a contract? And if the value is there, there's no reason why you need to leave. So that's one thing. And another thing, how would you find one? Word of mouth. So talk to people that you trust or who they know or who they've perhaps tried and know what their results are. Because if you're talking with someone totally fresh, if it was one of those people who makes a lot of promises, you initially may not be able to tell whether or not they're telling the truth. Now, I've been faced with this situation before and have found out afterwards that, their results are different, and it's very disheartening, and, to know that that's what's happened. When you choose a mentor, what do you look for? So, Elizabeth, I look for them having gone through a journey that I'm going through. So having worked in a similar industry as me, and certainly to be making their revenue needs to be more than mine, because they need to help me get there. Because that's one of my highest values. That actually shows me that I'm growing and expanding and scaling my business. Those are the two. Shelley says, "Is it organic? What is the point of difference on the chocolate?" Okay, Terry, what's the point of difference? We'll keep in mind during the day, please. Okay. Is there, Shelley says, is there, if there is not a connection with the business directly, maybe indirectly in relation to funding a special project or a cause? That's from Shelley Terry. And where do you source or find your mentors? I don't actually look for them, Shelley. As I said, the saying before, when the student is ready, the mentor turns up. Every single time, I have never looked for one. Even my first one happened to be on this program that we were doing, and he asked me, and then I said, "Yep, I was ready." And because I had never had a mentor, then the second one we went out and had coffee, and by the end of the conversation, I said, I didn't even know if she mentored. And I said, no, what will it take for me to, to learn this stuff from you? And then I hired her. And then my third one was recommended when I was whinging to someone that I went over to in Perth, and I said, oh, I don't know, who can help me get to $1 million. I don't know many people who work with people one-on-one who can get you to $1 million. They said, I know someone. Would you like to talk to him? And he recommended me, and I had a conversation, and I knew after the end of that conversation. So I never once did research or went to an ad or even asked people. Like, I just kind of ran into them myself. Elizabeth says, Terry, I know what I would say. Here we go. Here is the slogan for the chocolate: when nothing else in the day will do. Okay. Um, Thanks, Shelley, from Terry. So you are marketing a treat for those moments when you need a lift. Okay. So those are a couple of little marketing lines from Elizabeth for Terry. You're marketing a treat for those moments when you need a lift. Very good. You're very creative, Elizabeth. Awesome. All right. So I hope I've handled a lot of different mentoring questions. Elaine says word of mouth recommendations really always the best way I've found. Yeah, word of mouth is the strongest. Some people have checked them out or worked with them. As a result of working with my last mentor, I spoke about him to many different people, and they ended up hiring him and working with him and all that sort of stuff. So it does for a service type industry type of business. Really, you got to have people who love what you have created and done, and they've gone through it. And those kind of recommendations generally mean that you're a shoe in terms of getting business or them. Service-based businesses, I think, survive on word of mouth. So you got to make sure that you also have an amazing customer service. Thanks from Terry, Elizabeth. Um, this is helpful. I'm realizing that maybe as I start networking for my business, I need to ask the question about a mentor. Yeah, it's great to have one. It really pushes you. It really someone there for accountability, someone not to give in to your BS that can come up. I find it very important to get new strategies, to do new things, where sometimes you end up being in your own comfort zone and you keep doing the same thing over and over. Not that you may not be getting results, but perhaps you may not be growing any further. So what having a mentor does, it pushes you to further stretch and go deeper and get to that next step. Lorraine says chocolate and personal trainer not a good fit. Okay, yeah, and that's what came to me. Lorraine's got a son who's a personal trainer, and I think you used to be, Lorraine. But sometimes, sometimes we could look into a collaboration because we really want it to happen, but maybe it's not your ideal fit. So the question to ask Terry is this truly can it be a good fit, or am I just really wanting to make it be a good fit? The people we're connecting with will bring the right people connections for the next stage and new growth. That's from Shelley. Awesome. All right, 5 minutes to go. So I'm going to go through a couple of things, guys, of our events coming up. All right, this Thursday, Adelaide and Melbourne are running their UBS. And that's exciting. We've got Rachel Sheldrick coming from Newcastle on Thursday in Melbourne, and she'll be telling us all about, oh, well, she just won Business Person of the Year in Lake Macquarie. She had this big awards night, and she has built a few amazing businesses that she'll share a lot of insights from. So those of you that are Melbourne, love to see you there. Actually, this month, Melbourne and Sydney, sorry, I'm not sure if Adelaide would has this offer, but I don't think they do because their tickets are a little bit cheaper than Melbourne and Sydney. We have buy one ticket, bring a buddy for free. So you can contact me. I haven't put any links because there's just too many events. If any of these are something you want to come along to, or I know, Elizabeth, you've booked a ticket for UBS on Thursday. If you do want to bring a buddy, feel free to let me know their name and I can put them on the list. Now, going to Sydney on Saturday. So Sydney, I'm doing my half day author event that I ran in Melbourne last week. And that one actually, I'm happy, like, for people who want to come to one to also come to the other for free. So I'm kind of doing that kind of a little deal because it's at the same venue and people can make a whole day out of it. The event is the author event's in the morning, and the UBS it's like from 4:30 on that Saturday. And then I'm off to Hobart on the 31st of July, also part of a big sort of 2-day event they're running there for businesses that I'll speak at, and then I'll do my author event there. And then the last thing I just want to announce and let you know, fresh from my head last night, is this. You guys know I bought a brand new house, and we went and had a look at it on Saturday. And I took a lot of photos of this theatre room downstairs, and I decided that I would run a 1-day VIP marketing plan set up for 2016. Usually around September, I buy this. I buy my framed planner in whiteboard, and I thought I'd buy everyone one of these, and we would spend a whole day implementing what marketing you would execute in your business all for 2016. And obviously we'll provide lunch. Stuart will cook lunch for us and nibblies throughout the day. And this training room, or I'm calling it a training room, it's a theatre room, but it'll fit 10 people very comfortably, and we can project obviously things that I want to teach people, but it'll be teaching and implementation. And if the pool's built by then, we can get outside, and if it's a sunny day, we can implement. So it's Tuesday, 20th of October. I haven't even announced it in my inner circle, which I'm going to do straight away. And it's going to be in Diamond Creek. So I'm going to take 10 people through. And as you can see, those will be the costs. So you would get meals as well as your calendar, as well as obviously all the learning and implementation with 10 people maximum. Obviously, I don't want to take any more people than that in my house. So if you're interested, just PM me or email me, and I can sort it out with you. But haven't announced it to anyone. Literally came in my head, and I just picked the date before we started the call this morning. So that's that, you guys. Awesome. Let me see a couple of more comments here before we close off. All right. Terry from Elizabeth, we'll have a look at 180 Nutrition. They blend chocolate and health. Mark Sisson also talks about chocolate. You might get some ideas from that. There you go. Paul Nettleton, it would be a good fit. They were high-end clients who appreciate quality and occasional chocolate. If they were high-end clients, they probably already pay for a personal trainer or similar. Okay. Elizabeth says, "Oh my God, Natasha, I'm there. The timing is perfect." All right, Elizabeth, just message me. We'll book you in, and we'll have a fun day on the 20th. Lorraine, need a plane to get to Diamond Creek. Well, as I said, Lorraine, you can park it in my garage. I've got a 3-car garage in my not basement. I have a 3-car garage, so you can park a plane there. Terry, Elizabeth, she's asking who is Elizabeth. Elizabeth, you guys, I can post. I can do a 3-way message on Facebook when we get off and introduce you to, so you know who you are. Awesome. You've lost sound. Maybe it's at your end. I'm not sure. Okay, please. Okay, I'll connect you guys when we get off as soon as I get off. All right. So hope to see you soon. I know I'm seeing some of you at some of the events coming up. I look forward to next Monday. I think next Monday I'll let you have Stuart. He can bring some insights of what's been happening in his world. And I trust this has been actually a valuable conversation because, I always try to think of something that is a hot topic and that we need to know a little bit more on, and to ask each other. And thank you so much for helping each other out as well. It's important that we all brainstorm. I haven't got all the answers. As I said, I couldn't mix the chocolate and PT. I just could, nothing was coming to me. And I'll tell you that, we don't come up with awesome, amazing ideas every time, every single time. Thanks, Lorraine. She said, great coffee chat. Elizabeth was back. And Shelley says, thank you for sharing and answering. I'll post this up in case you want to re listen to the group. And for those that missed out, we will see you next Monday. Have an awesome week ahead. Hope we've been motivated. Certainly starts my engine going because I don't like mornings. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Talk soon, guys. Bye.